Okay, hello everybody. My name's Eloise Ansell. I'm a therapist and trainer based in the UK, and today I'm talking to Justin Furness. Justin, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Justin. I'm founder of LifePrint, the Connectome of Life, and I'm a body talker and an integrative medicine specialist. I travel internationally and teach the LifePrint system to everybody who is willing to learn to release more potential in their life.
Perfect. Me and Justin have connected because we're both body talk practitioners over the years, and I'm very excited that we're bringing Justin to the UK soon for a class for LifePrint Level 1. So I thought we'd have a bit of a chat today and have a bit of a chat about it. So, Justin, can you tell us a little bit more about LifePrint and kind of how it came about?
Okay, so LifePrint is basically an evolution of an original system called Human Pin Codes, which was developed by Douglas Forbes. So I basically studied and mentored with Douglas for 2 years and started instructing, opened up a practice, got my license, and started traveling around South Africa teaching courses. It was during this process that I came along Body Talk. And I realized that there was a big gap in terms of what I was doing, and my clients kept on coming back with the same stories. And I realized that that all I was doing was basically giving lip service, and it was going in the one ear and out the other. And my clients would basically come back with, and they didn't have any strategies. They'd come back with the same challenges. And so I found Body Talk, which was a beautiful support system, gave me the ability to tap into another avenue and another paradigm, and results seemed to expand. And they seemed to be long lasting, and all of a sudden it kind of changed the paradigm altogether. And it was during this time, during Body Talk, where I sat in a seminar with the founder, Dr. John Veltheim. And basically, he was presenting Finding Health, which was Nassim Haramein's work in light of Body Talk. And now I had found Nassim Haramein about 2 years before that came out, so I was very familiar with his work. And so during that seminar, no offense to John, but I was exceptionally bored because I was very familiar with the work. And so I started to doodle. And I started to doodle different kind of prints, and basically I was looking at this, and all of a sudden it was like a lightning bolt hit me on the head. And I can only compare it to almost receiving this immense amount of information and download that took me probably the next 5 to 6 years to unpack. And so through a process of deep meditation and probably another tool that people are very familiar with called Mindscape. And without Mindscape, it probably would have taken me probably another 10 or 15 years longer to unpack all of this information. And so what I basically found was the missing pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. And so it's a combination of Nassim's work, Bruce Lipton's work, and a coming together of the human need psychology paradigm, which is taught and is involved of about 40 years of research by Tony Robbins and the Tony Robbins research toolkit. And so what we do in the LifePrint is literally combine all of these avenues and give you practical tools and strategies to map your talents, your abilities, your neurological wirings, how you behave within your personality, how you behave within your social personality when you step out the door and you start dealing with people on a more superficial and business relationship, how you instinctively respond to situations within your life before you have time to think about things, how you relate in your relationships, both at home as well as when you step out the door, and who do you really identify with, how you approach your life, and really how you touch others into your life. So it's a multi-sensory input formula. It's a scientific, mathematical, and geometric formula to calculate your talents, abilities, proactive and reactive traits. And so it basically empowers you with a toolbox to understand exactly what your skills and your gifts are, both from an active side and a proactive side, and both from a reactive side. Because you certainly don't want to ignore one without the other. Because sometimes you need to rely on your reactive side of your behavior, because we do live in a very survival-based society. Even though we're not running from tigers and lions anymore, we still have a survival instinct within us to try and survive within this lifetime. And so what happens is we're so overstimulated with all this information coming at us that most of the time we spend in our instinctive overreactions. And so what we do is we basically, in the Level 1 seminar, we empower people with exactly how this reality works, exactly how to basically create a lifestyle, and give them strategies and a formula to empower the students and participants to calculate their own potential, both from a proactive and a reactive state, and then also empower them by understanding their colleagues, their families, their sphere of influence, their partnerships, to really understand how they process. And so there's a three-prong approach that we really look at within LifePrint. And that three-prong approach is literally tolerance for self, respect for self, and then love for self. And it's only once we basically get over those three layers can we really tolerate anybody around us, and then respect anybody around us, and then reach a level of love, both for the active and the proactive and for the reactive states of consciousness. So what I refer to it as flow states. So proactive flow state is when you kind of sitting in the river on your lilo, you're floating down the river with your community and with your friends, and you're enjoying a few cocktails, and everything's nice and cool and calm. And then there's always one ass that comes and throws you off your lilo, thinks it's all much a big joke. And so all of a sudden we start to react, and we flap our arms around, and we end up swallowing water, and we panic, and we kind of go into this whole reactive flow. And all it takes is literally for us to put our feet down, take our lilo to the end of the river, get back on and join the stream again. And so what we teach is literally how to look at our reactive states of flow and our proactive states of flow, and what tools and strategies we can use to maintain that flow state within our lives.
Wonderful. I love that. Anyone who's been to Mindscape with me knows that I'm really passionate about people tapping into their own gifts and strengths and really utilising this. So this course is absolutely like kind of aligned with my personal kind of ethos as well. So I know a lot of my previous students will be really excited about this, Justin.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So it is about kind of like learning about ourselves as well as, and then accepting and loving ourselves, which is obviously an amazing gift to have, and to understand others as well. So everyone's going to be able to utilise this and really use it in their lives afterwards.
Absolutely. You know, what we want to empower people with is a proper tool and a strategy in how to go forward. And so what we do is during the 3 days, I do a lot of interventions as well. So I do a strategic intervention formula where I'm looking at those human psychological needs according to how that relates to their life print, and getting very long-lasting change and results there in the moments where people can actually look at these strategies and start empowering themselves. And obviously, if I'm doing a strategic intervention on one person, I'm doing it on the whole room. Exactly, because we actually look at, and as we go through the first day, we really look at how we are all connected. And we really do examples, and we show you through demonstrations on exactly how we are all connected, and exactly how we are creating our reality, and exactly how this comes about. And so with those tools and strategies, we look at that already to lay the foundation before we even get into the formula. So day one is a little bit of the hard science, but it's a lot of fun because it's a lot of exercises. It's not bogged down in terms of, oh my God, I'm doing science. Oh, geez, what am I going to do? It's too much.
I love that. Yeah.
So we basically make it very user-friendly,
yeah,
very simple.
So very applicable to everybody.
It's for everybody. Everybody can benefit from the LifePrint system. And so we make it as much fun as possible. And there's a lot of aha moments that happen. We've had people come out of the course saying, oh my God, I feel like I've been in a completely different dimension with you for 3 days. And so we break it down and we look at a lot of the founding research and the founders where I spent most of my time researching. So we look into Buckminster Fuller, we look into Einstein, we look into Jung. The LifePrint system is deeply immersed in Jungian archetypes. We look into Nassim Haramein, who is probably the leader at the moment of unified physics. So I've basically studied with him in a unified physics academy program through the Resonance Projects Academy. And we look at and we immerse ourselves into that realm, but in a very fun and a very playful way.
Yeah.
And I find that when people come out of this, they have a better understanding of what they are creating in their lives. And both, I love to explore the shadow work too, the reactive side. And I always explain it as like, if anybody's ever played water polo. And so it's like you've got that ball on top of the water and you're playing with that ball and you can bounce it. And that's kind of the proactive side of our behavior. And it's very playful and we can basically control and move it. But then the reactive side, if you don't give that awareness, what happens is you give it density. And so you take that ball and you push it underneath the water and you push it further and further and further and you can feel that pressure building up and you can only take that ball so far before it literally finds a way to get out. And when you let go of it, when it comes up through that water, you have no idea in which direction it's going to shoot out. And so what happens is generally, if we're not understanding or giving awareness to our reactive side of our flow states, that's going to literally smack the person in front of me. It's going to smack another 20 people around them. I'm going to come home. I'm going to push my wife down the stairs, kick the dog, and shout at my kids. And so that's what we basically want. We want to avoid. And so sometimes people are just being a little bit careless, and sometimes they need a little bit of a reactive state of flow. We do have a survival state kind of world we're living in. And so it's basically how to give more awareness to that side. So when something does occur, we deal with it as it comes up. We take the practical steps, but then it's done. It doesn't spill over into the rest of our life. It's allowed for us to resolve that conflict, resolve that solution in a way that brings more awareness and harmony and joy to our life.
Oh, great. I like it because we're doing a day of, it sounds like going into the deep understanding of how the universe really works and how we are all connected, and understanding that is just a gift.
Exactly.
And then going through understanding, we all live in stress, so how can we really work through that and learn to understand ourselves and how we react and work with that. I think that's going to be amazing.
And that's the beauty of it, Eloise, is because we realize, hey, that's the way, this is my formula for myself, and the other that is in my life that I might have or maybe experiencing conflict with, I now have a tool that I can understand them. And I know that they're just using the strategies and the tools that they've come into this world bearing. And basically, that's their toolbox. And I can't expect them to behave like I behave because they're not me.
Yeah.
So I begin to learn and appreciate, oh my goodness, that's just their reactive strategy that they're trying to use according to whether what they're trying to serve or fulfill within the 6 human needs. And therefore, I can love and appreciate them more, because they're just being authentic and that's who they are. And so it brings a beautiful awareness and a beautiful value for people just allowing them to be themselves. And so it just gives people the space to be who they really are.
Yeah. And what's more perfect than that?
Exactly. It's beautiful. And we all have these paradigms. We delve into the subconscious mind, we delve into the conscious mind, and we also look at what's holding us back in terms of strategies, in terms of what we're trying to really reach and how we can get there, utilizing the active states of flow within our life.
Beautiful. So is this going to really help people to, those blocks that they keep having, like the relationship not coming in or the money not coming in, things that are really blocking them in life, just using those as examples, but how they can work with themselves to get over these?
Absolutely. That's level 1. By level 2, we take it up another scale. So there's a 4-level progression here. So the first level is really about self. We really want to empower the participants to really take a deep look in terms of what is their toolkit. And I really challenge all the participants to really look at self first. Because it's only once you have the confidence and you realize, oh my God, the system's 99% accurate, it's quite scary. And once they've delved into that, it'll give them the confidence then to then look at others. I don't want people to go out there going, you just, okay? It's about understanding self first. And so that progression then leads into level 2. Level 2, we really take a big, deep dive and we start looking at relationships and we start looking at synergies within families and partnerships first. That then evolves into businesses where we're looking at synergies within teams and within large corporations, within managers, and looking at a synergy of a whole. And there's case studies and there's demonstrations, and we take a deep dive into it. By level 2, you're also given more advanced calculations to really calculate what type of soup do you find yourself in this year. What is the environmental soup and the energy for your specific energy? Not for anybody else. What soup are you in this year? Because we all have an energy structure. So the LifePrint is really your unique torsion field. And so it's looking at your torsion field, and it's basically looking at your energy and what is the relationship your energy is happening with the environmental energy this year. And so what does that relationship look like? How does that break down from month to month to month to month? And then what does that look like on a daily energy cycle within that month, within that year? And so the year has a resonance associated to it. Each month has a vibrational energy to it within that resonance. And then each day has a new unique energy flow state within that vibration, within that resonance. And so we look at all those different structures and how we can utilize those energy patterns to our best potential and to fulfill what we are here to do. So it's almost like giving you a map.
Great. I like that. I know certainly the last couple of years I've noticed more and more the energy shift. You can kind of almost feel what the year's like, and as the months and days, some days you're really productive, other days you're not, and so it'd be great to have that actual ability to map that out.
Exactly. So by level 2, we're actually giving strategies where it's like, well, this is your daily cycle. Don't make any decisions today. Today is not a decision day. It's for tomorrow. If you make a decision today, something better might come tomorrow. So do the internal work, do the introspection today, and have a look and just wait and see how this feels, and then tomorrow make that decision. Or don't sign anything today. Today's not a good day to sign things. Or, today's to focus on more interpersonal relationships and development and to nurture those type of aspects. And so there's a step process, and we give these strategies in what to look at.
Yeah.
Then by level 3 and 4,
hang on. Go on, check.
So that's level 1 and level 2. By level 3 and 4, the progression is we're actually teaching a technique. And so we're empowering. We just need to make sure that the fundamentals are there and people are really comfortable and the left brain programming is there. Because by level 3 and 4, the technique that I'm teaching is having some pretty profound results. And so there's certain things that kind of happen in the seminars that we've been witnessing and observing. So there's been a lot of spontaneous crying. There's been a lot of Kundalini being released within the room, especially when we're doing the interventions. Sometimes I also immerse people and do a little bit of body talk and show how working on somebody's blueprint at that level, the profound effect and change that happens because it's getting encoded at a very subatomic blueprint level, and by the time that unfolds down to the physical, so you make one tiny adjustment, and so that little pool, that little drop into the ocean literally starts a tsunami, that by the time it gets to the physical structure, there's so much that is unfolded. And so it becomes a little bit of whack and a little bit of wacky at some stage because people aren't used to seeing this stuff. And so, you know, it's really fun, and it's really kind of something new and something really, really powerful. And so by level 3 and 4, we're teaching that technique where people will be able to do this. But if you have, and if you are a practitioner of any kind, whether it's Reiki, whether it's matrix energetics, whether it's body talk, whether it's any type of energetic medicine or conscious medicine that we look at, we give you the tools in order to practice at that level already from level 1. And so you can start implementing this right away, even if you're just a coach or if you're a family member or you're a businessman, you have tools already from day 1 that will give you the ability to use this system within any and every aspect of your life.
Great. So even in level 1, even though we're not going to get to the technique, people are going to get tools they can go away and use.
Absolutely. And that's what we want. We want people to go out there and be able to have fun.
Yeah.
Be able to use this. But I still will reiterate, start with self first.
Yeah. It always has to come from us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Perfect. So I just want to make this clear. This course is available to anybody.
Absolutely anybody.
Yeah. So you've had probably business people as well as therapists. Who else have you had come to the course?
So I've had, I think the oldest that we had was 72 years old. She was literally almost in tears by the end of it because she was like, oh, I wish I had this when I was 20. She was just so beautiful and so magical, and it really gave her tools and empowered her and her husband so much to understand their son, because their son also was special needs and he had quite a reactive behavior, and these tools really empowered them to go, oh, well, this makes all the sense in the world, because now we really understand who he is. Yeah. And instead of us trying to pressurize him into our way of thinking, we now have strategies that empower us to really nurture him in the way that he's wired. And so it was just such a beautiful thing to hear as that relationship goes down the line, because it's literally, the impact gets made firstly on the level of self, and then everything else in the environment changes because of it.
Yeah. Beautiful. So the courses are open to everybody. So have you had any nice success stories that you can share?
You know, it's interesting because there have been so many. So we've got a few body talkers that have commented, as well as basically some lay people that have also commented. So not only on the course, but how this is basically being brought into the body talk awareness, because we're working at the blueprint level now. And so there was a beautiful man by the name of Zakia in South Africa who I taught, who said basically to compare LifePrint is what body ecology did for body talk and body chemistry. And he said what it basically does is it gives consciousness a structure in terms of transformation and transformative healing. And that for me is so beautiful, because he just says to experience it is such a profound system, because you're working on that level, you're working on somebody's intimate flow states and the unique potential that they have to release and to unleash into the world. And he said it's so beautiful. It's literally changing the paradigm because it's giving that consciousness a structure in which to really utilize somebody's potential.
I'm getting goosebumps while you're talking.
So another woman basically in Canada, in Toronto. So we're actually going to Toronto after the UK. It's the second time that we're going to be in Toronto. And she wrote back and she was like, I've had 3 miracles in my life and you were the 4th. So she said the first 2 were my sons. And she just says, I love your sessions. And she goes on to say that she would love to take a masterclass, because basically integrating the LifePrint into the Body Talk protocol allows a completely different perspective in how to harness and work with somebody's unique identity and traits and abilities and gifts. And so she was absolutely, completely blown away, and she later has taken the course herself. So that's a little bit in terms of the actual implementation side of it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, so Lindsay Maurice from Toronto as well basically said, so I had the amazing opportunity to spend the last 2 weekends learning LifePrint with Justin, a system that is so powerful, helping people to connect within, understanding themselves on a whole new level and with a compassionate lens. The system blends beautifully with Body Talk, and in time she'll be offering combo sessions. I'm so excited to see the potential for others' growth, as mine has been blown out of the water coming out of these seminars. So excited and grateful for this amazing experience.
Beautiful.
Then Christine Conradi, who is actually the South African Body Talk Association president, or was at the time of writing this, said, life-changing lesson number 1 learnt on LifePrint. We are all unquestionably unique, except for one thing, the infinite potential inside every one of us. To compare ourselves to others and try live in a world and society that dictates and judges us is not only ludicrous but detrimental to our very existence. So blessed to have received a life-changing session with Justin in day 2 of the mind-blowing, awesome LifePrint course. Never have I reacted so strongly and felt so awesome afterwards. Transformation and healing at its max. Seminar facilitation integrating higher self-consciousness. So sad LifePrint to the Connectum of Life course has to come to an end. Highly recommend this course to everyone wanting to change their lives. We simply must arrange next year courses dates as soon as possible.
Brilliant.
So that's just a few. I've got endless amounts of these. There's videos, people interact. There's whole.
Yeah, I've seen there's some nice testimonial videos on your website. So yeah. So where can people go to find out some more about LifePrint?
So you can go to the website, which is www.infinite-wellbeing.com.
Yeah, I'll put that below as well. Yeah.
Perfect. And then you can look at /testimonials or /LifePrint, or you can just go to the website and have a cruise and look around. And yeah, it's basically all the information's there for everybody to have a look at.
Great, wonderful.
We are also hoping to do a talk before, so we'll keep everybody updated on what's happening with that, because we'd really want everybody to have the opportunity to see what they're going to be able to learn. So I'm offering a 2-hour training, which is free of charge, when in London or in Brighton, where we try and find a space where we can do that.
Yeah, at the moment, so the plan is that Justin's going to come to the UK to Brighton. We're going to be at the Hilton in Brighton on the nice seafront on the 7th to the 9th of October. So we're doing it over the weekend. And on the Monday before, Monday the 3rd of October, we're in the middle of getting the final details sorted, but we'll probably do the 2-hour free session in London, because I think it'd be easier for more people to be able to get in than come down to Brighton for the evening. So that's the plan at the moment. That'd be really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so what that training looks like is we basically look at our potential and we go through a brief little history and unfolding of what our needs and our human psychological needs are. And it's basically a gift from me to you, and to basically bring more awareness to how we try to fulfill these needs through proactive or reactive choices of behavior.
Yeah, so it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for people to come and meet you, find out more about it, and then if they want to come for the weekend, they can. If not, they've had 2 magical hours with us.
Exactly, and there's something that they can take home.
Yeah, and they can get
too. And so I do pick on a few people, and we do some strategic interventions during that 2 hours. And so, even that will basically change the direction quite significantly within your life towards something, unleashing more potential. So,
excellent. Well, thank you, Justin, for being with me today and chatting through things. Is there any final things that you want to talk about?
No, I think that covers everything for now. I'm super excited to be with everybody and share some time and share some space and to learn and grow together in a group consciousness where the potential is accelerated.
Yeah, perfect. Well, this seminar, as anyone who knows me, it's right up my alley. So I've been very excited. We've been talking about this for ages.
Oh, amazing.
It's going to be exciting to finally be here. So I'm excited to see Justin and spend the weekend. Hopefully some of you will be able to come along. So yeah, fascinating. So yeah, check out Justin's website, find out some more. And there's a link there to register if you want to come and join us for the weekend. And we'll get the information out about the free session as well. So thank you, Justin. Have a great day.
Have a beautiful week and go and be awesome.
Yay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.